You've cut carbs, you've eaten clean, you've done keto, vegan, paleo, heck, you've tried every diet on Instagram, and your body still acts like it didn't get the memo. Maybe you've got fatigue, joint pain, brain fog, random rashes, or stubborn weight gain that laughs at your calorie deficit. And after all that, some doctor says, it's autoimmune or you're just insulin resistant. Great, thanks for the label, but now what? Here's the thing. Your body isn't broken. It's responding to something, and if you understand how your DNA and environment interact, you can start sending it the right signals again. That's exactly what we're getting into today. Hey y'all, welcome back to Doozy Talks with Susie, where we keep it real about fitness, nutrition, mindset, and how to live in sync with your body and your purpose. Now, I'm not here to give you some miracle cure. I'm here to give you a framework, one you can actually use to understand why your immune system or metabolism might be misfiring and what you can do about it. Because here's the truth. Autoimmune disorders and insulin resistance are not just random acts of cruelty from your body. They're really just your body trying to protect you in a way that's gotten out of control. So let's start with autoimmunity. I believe autoimmunity is a very broad subject because that can go from something like lupus all the way to diabetes. But we're going to try to just keep it focused on autoimmunity. Your immune system's job is designed to protect you. That's literally why it's there. It's like your personal security team running around doing its little security job inside of you. But with autoimmune disorders, it starts mistaking your own cells for intruders, which turns into a problem, right? It's like firing the at-home team because they're wearing the wrong jersey. Why does it happen? Well, for some people, it's genetics. Certain HLA gene variants can make your immune system more trigger-happy. For others, it's environmental, like chronic infections, toxins, nutrient deficiencies, gut permeability, all can tip your immune system into overdrive. And often, it's both. And once that inflammation fire is lit, it doesn't just stay in one place, it spreads. This is why autoimmune issues are often linked with blood sugar problems, hormone imbalances, and mood changes. The inflammation, it doesn't care about boundaries. It doesn't respect boundaries. There's no bubble of boundaries. We don't respect boundaries, is what they're saying. Now, let's talk about insulin resistance. I know about insulin resistance. I've experienced insulin resistance. It's not fun. So, voice of experience, it's not fun. If you can avoid it, please do. Insulin's job is to move glucose, or sugar, from your blood into your cells for energy. When your cells stop responding to insulin properly, your blood sugar stays high longer, and your pancreas pumps out more insulin to try to fix it because it's still getting the message, blood sugar's high, we need to get blood sugar down, and in the bloodstream there's too much sugar, and so the pancreas just keeps going. And it's like over here in overdrive, it's working overtime, but over time, high insulin and high glucose leads to inflammation city. For me, this showed up even with healthy carbs, which is very frustrating. Lentils, beans, whole grains. Mind you, I'm 31 now. So whenever you're talking about someone like me who's lived most of my life on a high carb diet, and I didn't know that having a ton of carbs every day was not healthy for me, and that I was already at risk of type 2 diabetes just because of my DNA makeup. So whenever I'm over here eating lentils and beans and whole grains and my blood sugar is going up and staying up for long periods of time, longer than it should, something's going on. My blood sugar would go up and just hang out there. It's just having a good time. We're talking, check it again a little while later, hours later, still higher than it should be. You guys need to keep track of your blood sugar, by the way. When I saw my DNA, it started making sense. So I have variants in HNF1A and SLC5A13. Please do not memorize those because they really are not the most important part of this lesson today. It's just, these are the genes that I was looking at. These are the genes that tell a lot about glucose regulation. And these variants make me more prone to glucose regulation issues. And here's the kicker. Chronic inflammation from insulin resistance can feed autoimmune reactions. And autoimmune-driven inflammation can worsen insulin sensitivity. It's like this vicious loop. But you can break it. So what role does DNA play here? For autoimmunity, genes like HLA, PTPN22, and STAT4 can affect how your immune system identifies threats. If you haven't already, please go get DNA tested. And if you can get every single one of the genes in your body tested, I haven't found one that will actually cover every single gene, but if you can, please just get them all knocked out of the way so somebody can look at all of your genes and actually have a clear description of how your body works, because that is what your DNA is. It is your body's very own unique owner's manual. And I know most people don't look at their owner's manual for the latest gadget that they just bought, but if you open it up and you read it and you look through the owner's manual, then you'll see how everything works and what you need and how to use it, everything. It's amazing. So there's my plug for DNA. I'm not voting for any one specific DNA company, but please go get your genes tested. So these 3 that I mentioned, they can change how your body handles carbs and stores fat. Well, that explained a lot about what was going on with my body, because my body loves to hang on to fat. It's going out of town. And for inflammation in general, genes like CRP and IL-6 can turn the dial up or down on your inflammatory response. Now, I know I just said a whole bunch of stuff, but why does it matter? So if you know your genetic tendencies, you can stop fighting your body with generic advice and start targeting your own approach, your own unique approach, how your body specifically is designed. If your DNA says you're more prone to blood sugar spikes, you might do better with a lower carb or carb timing strategy. You don't necessarily have to cut every single carb in the county out of your diet. But if your DNA says you're inflammation-prone, anti-inflammatory foods, gut healing, and stress reduction are not optional. They're survival tools. You want to try to keep that inflammation down, because otherwise you're going to have more problems later on down the road that you don't want to deal with. All right, so all that said, let's talk about the action steps. I just mentioned it. Keep your inflammation low. Focus on whole, unprocessed foods. The less processed they are, the better they are. Cut or limit foods that flare you up. For some, that's gluten, dairy, soy, or certain plant compounds. Prioritize omega-3s from fish, or you could supplement. Support your gut health. Around 70% of your immune system is in your gut. So happy gut, happy life, happy immune system. Use probiotics, prebiotics, and gut healing nutrients like glutamine if you can tolerate that. There's some people, understand. Again, if you look at other various parts of your genetic makeup, you may not be able to tolerate glutamine very well. So if you tolerate it well, take it. It's going to help with healing your gut. Identify and remove trigger foods. This is non-negotiable, people. And it's not fun either, as a voice of experience over here. I'm becoming more and more limited on my food options, but that means I am more in tune with my body, and I recognize what works and what doesn't work for my body, what it needs and what it may not actually need. Balance blood sugar daily. Protein and fat with every meal. Move after eating. Even a short walk helps. So if you ate something, go for a walk, 5-10 minutes. Track your response to carbs if you suspect spikes. I know some people get squeamish about the needles, but please, just a quick poke. Check it with your little glucose monitor. I did it a lot, especially when I was still trying to figure out what was going on with all these carbs. Now I'm stable. I feel good. Manage stress. It's medicine. Stress hormones worsen both autoimmune flares and insulin resistance. So take care of your stress. And this is not stuff. It's actually biochemistry. Look it up. Look at the studies on it. You can practice meditation, breathing exercises, even cold showers. I know who wants a cold shower, but this helps lower the inflammatory load. And I'm not saying you have to do a cold shower for a long time, just a couple minutes in the cold shower. It's going to help. It also helps with your weight too. So if you're struggling with losing weight, a cold shower will help with that too. Work with your genetics, not against them, please, people. I'm going to say it again. Get your genes tested. If you've tested your DNA, use it as a roadmap. Support the weak pathways and protect your strong ones. Because the more you keep your body with the nutrition that it needs, not just what the latest person on Instagram and TikTok are saying, they found what works for their body. But you don't have their body, you have your body. Figure out what your body needs. Here's what I want you to hear loud and clear. You are not broken. Your body is not betraying you when you're dealing with inflammation and autoimmune issues. It's responding exactly as it's designed to, which is beautiful. But it's working off of the inputs it's been getting. So when you start giving it better inputs, the right foods, the right timing, the right stress management, the right environment, it will start responding differently. And yes, that includes supporting your genes instead of ignoring them. So whether you're dealing with autoimmunity, insulin resistance, or both, you have more control than you've been told. Learn your patterns, understand your wiring, change the signals you send your body. And remember, your body is not the enemy, it's your teammate. You just need to start speaking its language. If this has been helpful, go ahead and drop a comment. Tell me about your story, what you've dealt with, what you've learned. This is a community, and this is how we learn from each other. I'll see you guys in the next video.